World of Tanks Gunner. I'm going to go through all of these skills and perks of the gunner in World of Tanks, and I'm going to explain to you what they do, which ones are the best ones, and in what order you should get them. So we've got Brothers in Arms, Repairs, Concealment, and Firefighting. These are the skills that are common with every crew member. And then for the gunner, we've got Snapshot, Deadeye, Designated Target, and Armorer. So most people would say Brothers in Arms is the most important skill, and that you need to get it with all of your crew members. And the reason why is because it's like vents and food consumables. It helps all sorts of aspects of your gun. In fact, it helps with repairs. It helps with firefighting. It might help with concealment. It helps with a lot of things. So that's why people run Brothers in Arms. Repairs, what it really does is, you know the percentage, how it says 127? It kicks it up a higher amount. That's basically what it does. Gives you a higher percentage. Repairs is for repairing your tracks, repairing your gun, and the list goes on. It's most important for repairing your tracks because it will get you out of danger if you can repair your tracks quickly. So it only repairs up to 50%. You don't get a 100% repair, which means that your module will still be damaged, but you'll be able to operate it. And in some cases, let's say it says you knocked out the gun, repairs will make it operational again, but usually you'll hide during the repair. For most vehicles, you're going to want to have this, especially heavy tanks. Concealment is camouflage. It helps you hide. And you definitely want it with smaller vehicles and SPGs and tank destroyers. With heavy tanks, not so much, but it is useful on large open fields for heavy tanks. Firefighting. I only was destroyed by fire 1 out of 1,000 games. You only need one crew member to have firefighting to survive being on fire. If you have full health, I recommend putting it on your loader and radio operator and saving it later for the gunner. Snapshot improves the dispersion when you rotate the gun. Deadeye gives you increased critical hits 3% of the time, which is approximately 1 out of every 3 games, because 3% is 30 shots that you penetrate. You shoot about 10 per game, so it's going to be about 1 out of every 3 games. You're going to get extra experience from doing that. Designated target keeps the enemy spotted 2 seconds longer. Doesn't come in handy that often, but it's good for light tanks, and it will earn you extra experience if you're spotting. Armorer improves the handling of a damaged gun, which is good for super heavy tanks because people will often shoot at your gun because your armor is so strong they can't do anything to your armor. I shoot at people's guns so they can't fire back at me. Gives me a little bit of time, gives you a little bit of experience. So, a lot of people say Brothers in Arms first. I agree. A lot of people say you have to do repairs second. You know what? If you're a heavy tank player, go for it. I play with 2 repair kits, small and large repair kit, so I don't need repairs on the module, and you don't need it for yo tanks because you've got the backup tracks. I'm a frontline player. I'm always close to the enemy, so concealment is important to me. Snapshot always works. It's always working for you. You might never receive damage and repairs doesn't do anything. Snapshot, you're always aiming your gun or moving your gun or firing your gun. You want snapshot unless you never fire your gun, which could be some light tank players. New light tank players don't fire the gun, more experienced ones do. But for everybody, you're going to get benefit. The whole point of the game is to fire your gun. you're going to get the benefit every time you fire your gun, unless you literally don't move your gun. You're going to get the benefit from snapshot, so use snapshot. It's a passive benefit. Deadeye always is working on your behalf, but you only get the benefit 1 out of 30 penetrations. So I say I would pick it because you don't have to think about it. You can't do it right or wrong. Just run it and enjoy the benefit. Designated target, you have to know how to use it. You have to be aiming at somebody, which means you're either going to be a light tank destroyer or a light tank or a medium tank or a sniper. You cannot use it with an SPG. You can, but unlikely. Deadeye is unlikely with SPG, and designated target, not very useful with SPG. The reason why it's not useful with heavy tanks is because designated target is for distant targets that are behind bushes. It's not going to help you so much with heavy tanks because you probably are within spotting distance and you probably see them. Armor is good if your gun gets damaged often. If you have weak armor, they're just going to destroy your tank, so it's not going to matter. If you have strong armor, your gun is more likely to be damaged. And also, for a light tank, you don't fire as much. So it's important for derp guns because a derp gun is going to have problems aiming if it's damaged. But a gun that's a sniper doesn't matter so much because sniping guns are already good. The loss from a damaged sniper gun isn't so bad. For example, the STRV tank destroyer. So, Deadeye, designated target, not going to use it with an SPG. This is important for any derp gun, any gun that does high damage or has a high aim time or bad dispersion, not good for sniping, artillery. That's where you want the snapshot. Firefighting, if you have an engine in the front of your tank, this has an engine in the front. If you have a Chinese vehicle, you should probably put firefighting that catch on fire a lot. Not good for SPGs because they're just going to destroy the tank. For light tanks, usually it's not good, but it can also be good because you turn around and you run away and they shoot you in the rear and you catch on fire. So you might want it for a light tank. Concealment, the smaller the vehicle, the more important you have concealment. For a light tank, I would pick designated target instead of concealment because you earn experience with designated target. I then put concealment after. You want spotting advantage with a light tank, not concealment because you already hide well. If you think you hide well, go for the spotting over hiding. So designated target if you think you have good concealment. Repairs are good, but put them on your loader and radio operator and consider using equipment that improves your repair speed. The reason why is because some of them, I have a vehicle like my E100, the repair time is 5 seconds. It's very fast. It's faster in general than, it takes me a second or two to hit the repair button. It's pretty good. Use it with heavy tanks if you want quick repair. Maybe not so much with a Yo tank. Brothers in Arms, you want to use it with vents, food consumables, vent purge, etc. Brothers in Arms is going to improve your repair speed and firefighting, and it's going to improve maybe your gun handling. So Brothers in Arms improves everything. And if you get the Brothers in Arms, the food consumable, the vents, and the vent purge, it's kind of like adding a gun rammer and a gun laying drive and a lot of other equipment. That's why it's important. So if you have a heavy tank, I would say Brothers in Arms, repairs, and then look at snapshot, Deadeye, firefighting, armor, designated target, and if you're spotting, brothers in arms, concealment, designated target, and then maybe firefighting and snapshot and repairs and deadeye. Like, for the reason why I don't use repairs on my light tanks is because I use the enhanced suspension, so they don't track me as often, because you want to run fast, so I don't have to repair as often. So then you got medium tanks and tank destroyers. Repairs are important for vehicles that do not have a turret. I want to come up with a good example. This one. This is important to have repairs because if you track it, he probably can't fire his gun because he can't turn the gun to aim at the enemy. Go into your barracks and look at your recruits. You want to avoid using these recruits for the gunner because they don't have a lot of skills. Use them on your radio operator and your loader. You want to use the ones that have more skills on the gunner because the gunner has some nice stuff you want to add. And don't use the one that has the little commander icon because that's for the commander only. So I'm going to do a comparison. You see how we got, these are the base 4, and then we've got the 4 that are unique. The commander has 5 that are unique, and he's got possibly some extras. The driver has 5 that are unique. The loader has 3 that are unique. That means that the commander and the driver have more skills. You want to put your better crew. The gunner, you put your second best crew. And then you put the worst crew on the loader and radio operator. For example, over here, preventative maintenance, you don't need firefighting on all your crew if you use a preventative maintenance. This improves your gun handling just like snapshot. This gets you more damage. This helps you drive better. There's a lot of good driver skills. Deadeye is not that useful. Designated target, for some people it's not useful. Armor, you have to be damaged. How often does your gun get damaged? Not that often. You can repair it with a repair kit. So really only snapshot is going to give you that all-time benefit for most vehicles. So you don't need the best crew member, which is why I chose this one instead of this one, even though he is probably commander specific. Okay, so those are my comments on the gunner. The gunner cannot do any spotting other than the designated target. So he cannot do any spotting damage like the radio operator can or the commander, but he can with the designated target, which is a nice little handy thing because he is looking through that little scope. Okay, so armor, again, for derp guns. And Deadeye is not good for HE rounds. So if you're firing HE rounds, you won't get the benefit from it. Okay, those are my comments for World of Tanks Gunner. If you have any questions or comments, please post below. I do own cheapbooks.com, which is a search engine for searching for books and textbooks, sheet music, manga, comic books, etc. And you can also search for music, DVDs, and other media such as video games. It's over 650 million listings. I hope to have 1 billion listings by the end of the year, and it is free. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.